Hey folks, here we are, third episode at St. Ignace. It just keeps going, folks. I've never seen so many trucks in one spot. I mean, you'll see later. I mean, there are just so many trucks. I can't say it enough. But Austin and I, we're toughing it out. We're trucking through. We're getting everything that we can. And we are trying to get the cream of the crop. But man, I tell you, there's so many beautiful trucks here. It's really hard to pick which ones we're going to do an interview with. So without further ado, let's start the show. Hey, we're here with Tim Wacker, and he's got a couple of trucks here. I actually interviewed him back at the Dundee show, and you know what? The footage was just so horrible, we're just going to do a redo, because these trucks are awesome, and we just need to get some better film of it. So, we've got this H67 here. I already know the story, but you want to go ahead and give me the...
It's a 1962 H model. It's pretty much all original. They come out of Pennsylvania. Originally it was New York. We're the eighth owner of it. We call her Betsy. She's a good old truck. We've had it for quite a few years, and we take it to shows and take it drives on weekends and stuff, and just have a good old time with her.
Now, this was a barn find, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
And
barn find. It set for 10 years in a barn, and they had a couple other guys that had it, and they had modified it quite a bit, and we've took it and put it back to what its original spec was, and that coming out of the factory. Because for Mack, you can get from the museum, you can get the build papers on it. You can actually go back and see what the original specs were, and put her back to what she was original. So,
I was talking at the Dundee show. I was really, like, when I saw this, I always love these cab overs with these bubble fenders on these things. I mean, just look at that. Love it. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with it, but I love seeing these trucks, man. They got a character all their own, you know?
Yeah, they do.
So,
yeah.
Now, you've got this other one over here.
Yeah.
This other Mack.
We got a B model down there.
Now, I can't really remember what the story on this one was. I remember you said that was a barn find. What was the story on this one?
This one originally was owned by Country Fresh. It's one of their route trucks. And we picked it up when they were sold out. They sold out. This is the last one of their last route trucks that they had. And we bought it at an auction. They were getting rid of all their extra stuff when they sold out. And so we picked this one up. It's a 64 B67. It's got the counter cab for the close, so you can haul trailers tight to the back of the cab with it. And it's got the same powertrain as what the H model does. They're almost identical on their powertrain. So, but yeah, this one's all original, and it's had a paint job put on it, so it's, you know, it updated the paint and stuff on it. But other than that, it's pretty much.
Now I'm driving a truck. Me too.
Good running truck. So
these you said this one was original and then a paint job, and that one you restored.
that one's never been. That's all original.
That one is.
That might have been. We're the 8th owner, so has it been painted? Don't know. If you look at the interior on it, the interior's the original interior on the inside. If you look at the interior, we can open up the door and you can take a look at that one. Okay. This one's had a paint job, and I don't know how many times this one's been painted. It's been painted quite a few times. But as far as the powertrain and all that stuff, it's all still original. You can see that. Take a picture inside the hood there. You can see that she's all.
Yeah, let's go take a look at Let's go take a look under the bonnet.
Yeah. She's all pretty much the same power plant and everything as came with. Everything matches the serial numbers now. Because you go to the Mack Museum, you can get all the original build papers from it, and you can match everything up that way and see how much is all original on them and that. So that's pretty good on the Mack side. They do that.
Do you happen to know how many horsepower this thing runs?
That motor is 170 to 190 horse, depending on what it was when it come out of the factory. This one I don't remember what the build papers. That the H models, that's set at 190 horse coming out of the factory.
Sir,
It's non-turbocharged, so they're just naturally aspirated. So
Do you have a preferred out of the H and the B? Which one do you like best?
oh, I like my H.
Yeah,
There's a lot more room. The cab's pretty tight on this one in here with that contour cab. You're sitting right on the steering wheel. The H model's got a lot more room, and it's a lot nicer to drive. You set up in the air a little bit better, and you can see everything that with that one setting up in the air. So, but it's got a lot more room than the B models do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can go take a picture of the inside on it, and you can see there's a lot more room. So, and you set up a lot higher, so you can see a lot more things when you're running down the road with it. So
Now, you were or you still are a truck driver?
no, I still drive truck.
You still drive truck?
I run truck every day.
What do you normally run on a daily basis?
Oh, it depends on the day, but I usually run a couple 100 miles a day. But we do local delivery is what we do. So, for us getting a couple 100 miles a day on, that's a lot of miles for local delivery doing door-to-door stuff. So, yeah.
Oh wow. So what kind of rig do you drive?
I run fuel. So I run a fuel truck. So we do
built Mack.
I got a Mack that I run. So
Running the Macks.
yeah, running Mack, running fuel. So yeah. So
Well, thank you very much for the interview.
yeah.
And folks, let's go on to the next one. Earl Innes. Nice to meet you. My name's Terry. This is Austin.
Hi, Austin.
And you are
Dan Walters.
Dan Walters. Okay, what we've got here is this 1951 Mack. What can you guys tell me about this truck?
What do you want to know?
What do I want to know? Well, how did you come to get it?
Well, I bought a brand new one in 1951 and drove it for 4 years. I spent 3 years on I-75 and we built that road from Detroit to Toledo.
Really?
3 years I spent in there. I went into a Mack dealership in Dearborn and saw the duplicate of this in red. It's the same thing, same accent. And I said, I'd like to buy that. How much? I said, $7,200 out the doors. I bought it and drove it off. Went to work building highways. And I hauled salt in the wintertime and, stuff to keep going. Then I sold that and moved on, and I went into building business stuff. And then got back into trucking about 40 years ago. One of my drivers spotted this. It was a record down in North Carolina. It was like $6,000. We bought it and brought it home and took it over to Dan, and we stripped it right down to the frame and painted the frame and everything. Started putting it back together, and the cab had cancer, all rotted out. So we found another truck, Mack, out in Arizona. That won't have salt on it. So we bought that cab and brought it up, and Dan put it together and put it all together, and we fit it, and then we took it all down again and started painting it, and we painted the frame the Consumer's Power Blue, wasn't it? And then I saw a Cadillac I liked with a pearl white, and I said, that'd be pretty on that truck. So a year and a half later, we got the truck done, and
Here you are.
here we are.
That was in 1999.
Yeah,
20 years
been
ago.
up here. This is my 20th year. I've been here.
Coming to this
never
show.
missed. Never missed.
Wow.
I might have the record. They asked me to stay tomorrow. They want me up at the ceremony, so something's going on. I don't know what it is, but maybe because I'm been here longest and the oldest, maybe they're gonna recognize me and give me a plaque or something. I don't know. I'm gonna stick around in the morning and see what happens.
Now, in back then, would you say this show was, anything as big as it is now, or
About half the size.
about half the size? So it's always been pretty good sized show.
Every year, except one, it has been growing. The 1 year that was down was 9/11. That was a bad year. I mean, right after 9/11 happened, a lot of guys just weren't ready. But the ones that did come up, they were flying flags and they were here. But other than that, every year after 9/11, it has been, every year it's bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, what have we heard this year?
I haven't heard the numbers, but it's
140, 50? It's gotta be.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. We went down to the other end, and there's definitely a lot of trucks.
Has anybody give you a total?
I have heard everything from, like you guys said, 150 up to over 200 trucks.
It would be 200.
I haven't gotten an official.
I would say 150 would be more accurate.
Well, guys, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for your time. We've got a couple more interviews to go do, so you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
So what are you going to do with that?
Oh, I'll show you here.
Your dad?
If ever there was a game of cat and mouse, as Austin and I were rolling through this entire show back and forth, we kept checking in with the driver of this magnificent truck. Eventually, the owner finally got there and we were able to get an interview with both of them pretty much at the last minute. But man, what a phenomenal truck. All right, I'm here with Mark and Bob. This is Rolling Thunder. Among so many trucks, Rolling Thunder right here, baby. What can you guys tell me about this beautiful piece of art?
Well, the truck has got a long history. It's actually what you would call a legendary truck, okay? A very close friend of mine had owned this from start to finish until he finally retired. And I had my eyes on this truck for a long time. Mike Harrison had it leased on with Van Campens. And he's always taken very, very meticulously good care of this truck. And the only driver that's ever drove this truck was Mike up until he finally released it when he retired. Okay. I wanted the truck secondhand, and a friend of mine had purchased it, kind of shoved it in my face, and I says, the truck is mine, and so I went after it, and I finally got it. And then Mike Harrison was an old school driver that, the cowboy hat, the black slack jeans, black boots, button-up shirt, and I had just so happened to have the perfect driver to fit in the truck. And he normally wears a white shirt like this, buttoned up, black slack pants, and black cowboy boots. So just a version of Mike 20 years later. So it's a perfect truck with a perfect fit driver for it. So we're going to keep it a legendary truck, and we just cleaned it up a little bit. He always took meticulously good care of it, but we just added a few new things to it, and we're going to keep it rolling. It's got 3.1 million?
3.4 million miles.
3.4 million miles on it, and as hard as Bob runs, it's going to keep right on it going up there, so, yeah. Yep.
Now, this paint scheme, this was on it when you got it?
Yes, that's the friend of mine that had bought the truck from Mike.
Okay.
Secretly. Okay. And then on a Sunday afternoon, he sent me a picture of it as soon as it got out of the shop. And the Rolling Thunder name was my legendary name from years back. And he kind of showed me a picture of the truck and the paint scheme, and I says, I'm on my way over. So me and my boy went over there, and I had a check in my back pocket. And they said, that truck is mine. So I finally got it. So yeah. But Scott Sines is the one that painted this, and he's painted other trucks for me in the past. My original Rolling Thunder truck, and so yeah, there's a lot of history with this truck and the name. Yeah, so it's in its rightful owners, and I just spoke with Mike 2 days ago, and he's as happy as can be. He's retired down in Florida and loving life.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's it like driving this thing on a daily basis?
Actually, it's humbling because you get a lot of compliments. You get people, just families driving by taking videos as you're going past or they're going past you. And a lot of people know the truck. So they always ask about it, how's it doing, stuff like that. So it's really neat. It really is.
So you get a lot of people at stops and like, oh hey, can I
Oh,
take a picture?
you stop in a rest area.
Yeah, you get a crowd.
Yeah, you get a crowd.
You get a burger and a crowd.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now you said you pretty much just cleaned it up. What did you do? Any other additions to this truck since you got it?
Well, money, everything.
That's a given. It's a truck.
Yeah, Mike took very good care of it, but we've done some changes. The tires were the 24 talls that he liked, and I thought, well, we'll just put 22s on it and lower it down a little bit. Didn't realize how much was going to get into all that because you got to change the hubs. It had ball seat rims on it from being that old. Had to change it to hub pilot, so that was a little ouch. And then we just took a lot of the old school lights off that he had on it and put a lot of the newer stuff
LEDs.
Yeah. And Mike liked to get it polished down there in Wildwood, Florida, where he's at all the time, and we don't have the time to polish it, so we stainless steel. Bob hooked us up with his buddy with all the stainless, and just cleaned it up a little bit. It didn't take much. Mike, like I said, Mike took very good care of it, and the guy that got it from Mike that sold it to me took good. He had it for just a month or two, but it was kind of his idea with the paint scheme, which fits our company real good because I haul livestock too. So
yeah, I saw your other truck.
Yeah.
Saw it while we were waiting for you.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You got to work to make this work, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we got a perfect fit, a perfect crew, a good team now, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. So.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much for your time.
Good talking with you.
And keep rolling that thunder.
You betcha.